Jay, there's been a lot of conversation about Tyler Williams, the young man who played Chris on the show Everybody Hates Chris. You remember that show?
Hmm.
And so what's been coming out is that people had the assumption that he was gay because of how he, I'm not going to say carried himself, but sometimes the way he dressed, certain clothing choices, things of that nature, where they were talking about him being gay. And of course, he came out and addressed the comments and said that he wasn't gay. But it started this broader conversation about toxic masculinity. And so I want to ask you about that, about toxic masculinity. And I also heard something that said a lot of these conversations are rooted in shame and not compassion. So what are your thoughts on toxic masculinity and when we do start to see more about this?
I've always thought that of toxic masculinity, the phrase is bullshit. Um, we were raised on, we living in a world now where it's okay to just figure out what you feel like you want to be today and then be that. And that sucks. We live in a world where we're teaching our kids English, and in the English language, they, those, them refer to multiple things or people, and now that can be described as one person. Truth is not, there anymore. If you are displaying the traits of a woman, it doesn't mean that you're gay, but it's not far-fetched for somebody to think that you are. You know what I'm saying? These are just facts. It's not my opinion. This is a fact. If you're walking as a man and displaying traits of a woman, it's not wrong to assume that that person might be gay. Now, it ain't your place to have to put it out on social media and talk about them, because that's the whole premise of this, of being gay, being straight, whatever. It's none of your business. It's none of nobody else's business what that man is. You know what I'm saying? But if I walked around like a crazy person, people might think I'm a crazy person. And that's what I put out. So it's not toxic masculinity. It's just a man showing feminine qualities. You know what I'm saying? Outward. And a lot of times, especially when we were growing up, that was a signal, a sign that the person was gay. But, you live in the public eye. People get a chance to speak publicly about you. It was just talking about the thing with Lizzo. And she was talking about she was shutting down her Twitter account because of the body shaming. You the one showing your body. And you're upset because people don't like what they see. Like, we don't live in reality no more. Like, we really don't want to live in reality. It's a real easy way for somebody not to say anything about her body. Don't show it. If you choose to show it, some people are going to support it, some people are not. We already know this. It's never going to be 100%. So let's lean to the facts. Again, toxic masculinity, I think is a horrible term. I think it's been making sure that young men act like young men is not toxic. Now, everybody's not going to take the bait. Everybody's not going to go with that. Obviously, some young man is going to be gay. Some young man is going to want to act like a woman. But it is what it is. But we have to understand, when we live in a world where it's questionable, it's no longer if you born a certain way or with certain instruments, that doesn't matter anymore, because you can be born with a penis, but you still a woman. If you choose to say I'm a woman today or next week or for this next 5 years, and then I want to go back to being a man, that's crazy, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a level of confusion that is far beyond anything that can be described as good, safe, or any of the other words. It's dangerous. I think that's the only word that you can describe it. It's dangerous. And so, again, I don't know what the brother's sexual orientation is. And as I said earlier, it's none of my damn business. I don't want to know. At the same time, That's a call sign. That's a call sign for people to think that. Now, I don't want people to think that much about him, to be worried about what the hell he's doing, because again, it's not our business. It's a lot of dudes walking around here looking like real dudes, real men, regular men, regular heterosexual men, and they're just as gay. And there's a lot of gay, I know some dudes who, the best dressed people in the house, a little bit wasn't, but they got a beautiful wife at home. We don't know, and we don't need to know, because that's their business. But when you become a celebrity and everything you do is out in the open, nobody complains when there's all the claps and all the praise. So that's the other side of it. You got to be able to take that. And this generation is a lot, weaker when it comes to that situation than generations past. Y'all need to grow up.